Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. I finally decided on what is going to be my next build project, and yeah, it's going to be Bleed Bow. Once again, the OG Bleed Bow character that was actually meta, I think like 10 leagues ago or something. So original classic, split arrow, puncture, snipe. But why this time around? Because we have the new support slash skill gem, which is snipe support. So usually you were forced to, if you wanted to have some good single target DPS, you were forced to play with the Exile helmet that comes with this snipe support. So you had a lot of single target damage with the puncture setup, but the helm itself was kinda not that good. Let me actually quickly pull it up. The Exile helmet that got actually buffed this league based on the introduction of the support gem. Quickly, Exile. There it is. So what this helm is now doing is basically giving you a level 30 snipe skill and +2 maximum snipe stages. So the way snipe works is the longer you channel this skill, and this scales with attack speed, the more damage multiplier you're getting. And we talk about, I don't know, like 100 or 75% more damage with ailments per stage. So times 6. Oh god, math. It's a lot of damage, okay? Better than anything else in the game when it comes to like damage scaling. But you have to channel that thing. Do I think this is an awkward playstyle? I mean, yeah, it kinda is, like honestly. But the thing is, how often do you actually use snipe, or how often do you use split arrow for actually clearing the map? I can see you using snipe only for map bosses, metamorphs, guardians, like any kind of like uber bosses or bosses in general. This is when you actually use snipe, and most of them actually do have some kind of role play in the start. They talk something, for example Izaro in the lab, right? Before he gets active, like the elevator comes up and blah blah blah, so you're just putting down your totems, you snipe that. As soon as he gets active, you release the arrow and he's gonna be one shot for sure. And yeah, back to the Asylum. This helm got now buffed with the 2 maximum snipe stages, and there is actually a new enchant with plus maximum snipe stage. So that is actually huge damage. So is it still worth using the Asylum over now a rare helmet, since we do have the snipe support? It's questionable. I think that having the option to go for a rare helmet with like an overall chance to suppress spell damage, Searing Exarch Eater influence with like mana reservation efficiency, maybe even Essence Craft with mana reservation efficiency, vulnerability, curse effect, a lot of resistance, and all these kind of things will, in my opinion, help out the build in its overall performance and tankiness and in damage. And we do have the additional snipe support skill in a 6-link that will do a lot of damage on top of that. Good, that about the snipe skill. I leveled this character up yesterday, just like level 76 now. It still has to do like Uberlap and everything. So a lot of things that has to be fixed on the build, but this is like the kind of like progression that you have with the character. You level it up, you start gearing your character, you farm currency, you buy some bases, you start crafting, and in the end of the day, you want to have like a really cool build. So what do I want to achieve with this build? Like obviously, as you see on my trophy count over here, I'm farming challenges every single league, and I want to take this character as like an overall a well-rounded beast character, just to do everything that has to do with challenges, and even up to the point where you can farm uber bosses. I don't know exactly how we're gonna do that, but I made some POBs, and it looks very promising, to say the least. And yeah, I'm looking forward for this project. I really like Bleed Bow, just overall, the way it functions. I do think that Reign of Eros is actually, or might be even better, just because they have the Crucible passive tree. Like my current passive tree is just like quality, fizz damage, and like intelligence, so nothing fancy over here, right? But there is like the Reign of Eros deal like 300% more damage with bleeding, or has a chance to do that, right? And I think that combined with something like a Crimson Dance, maybe even as a Deadeye with Rupture, should make a lot of damage. But I still prefer Split Arrow over Reign of Eros, and that's why I decided to go for that route instead. Because Split Arrow, if you have decent gearing, you have like no problem like doing all kinds of content. Maybe not 100% daily, but we need to check if we can get this or scale this character up to a point where it can actually do that as well. There, can I get the 10C? Right, I guess then not. It's fine. /DND/clear, so I can actually start recording. So, let's run the map. The current character is like a mix between Chaos Spam gear, like I have like some good bases with like Fractured Spell Suppression. I have this like, I think 3 times. This one has already 14 spell suppression, but in the end of the day, I just chaos spam to just get myself res capped. Next thing would be popping out this like leveling like belt with all resistance and get her with Lada's coil and stuff like that. And then I have like some really nice items like the Circle of Guild with vulnerability on hit, with Herald of Purity buff effect and physical damage. And I got this bow. I don't know how much the base was. I think it was like 15 divines for the base itself, which has the 35% faster bleed. And then I just went over and an essence spammed with like Deafening Essence of Contempt, and I actually hit T1 Merciless, which is not bad. But there is fire damage on it, so in best case scenario, would try to annul that and just Exalt Slam Dictators on it or something like that. But it does the job for now, so let's pump in the map so you can see the gameplay, the game style. And obviously, I want this character to be like a massive character, okay? I'm talking about like really good defenses, really good offenses, and just have like, yeah, just an overall insanely good character. I just hope that I'm not gonna die here because this character hasn't died yet, okay? And I gotta say, based from the leveling experience, it was so freaking smooth. Like honestly, with the Snipe skill gem, you have like, you just one-shot Isaro, you just one-shot every single like act boss or map boss or something like that, if I would actually be able to hit my puncture. Okay, but, you know, I have to like get the aiming a little bit better. But what you could do actually is if you have Frostblink, Frostblink is the only like movement skill that allows to be used while channeling. So I can load up here, you see I have like 6 Snipe stages, I Frostblink, I still have 6. You could actually do something like 360 no scopes if you feel that, you know, you just load it up, you do a 360, you blink away, and then you one-shot the boss, if you're able to hit the arrow. I'm most like failing on that like quite often, but I'm practicing, okay? I'm practicing. Maybe you can do like a bossing 360 no scope highlight reel or something like that. That would actually be fun. But yeah, overall, split arrow with chain support, so all the projectiles, they just fly around and have like 100% chance to bleed. And for some beefier bosses or stuff, you're just gonna load up your Snipe and yeah, just one-shot this yeah, Essence monster in this case. But obviously, at some point of gearing, once you have all the damage going and all the items that you need, then obviously you don't have to do that. You will most likely use Puncture when it comes to like really end game bosses, or maybe the map boss if it's like tanky, or some uber pinnacle essence monsters. So bosses, you just go down your totems with a snaring arrow, you load up your puncture, you release the shot, and then it just dead, you know. The thing with about puncture is that puncture does have a very long base duration. So bleed, I think, is the normal base duration of bleed is like 4 seconds, I think, and puncture has a base duration of 8 seconds. That means you're gonna try to stack as much bleed duration and faster bleeding to keep your bleed duration around like 4 or 5 seconds. Obviously, puncture is gonna be higher, but that will like really buff your damage overall because of the faster bleeds. It's not like poison, where a faster poison is actually not doing anything besides like giving you a faster ramp-up time. God, why is this guy spawning so much? Get down, Snipe! Okay, let's try. Okay, wait. I have no mana. Wait a second. So, loading up. 360. Blink. Oh shit, I ran out of mana. Well, unfortunate. I actually need to fix the mana problem as well, but... Now, this is like the kind of like clunky playstyle and the actually fun playstyle when you know like, hey, I need to hit this arrow, right? And if you hit it, as I said, when you actually use puncture, it is or would be on bosses, and most bosses do have like some roleplay in the start, so you can like safely channel your puncture up, and as soon as the boss gets active, you're just gonna release the arrow. And in 99% of the cases, you're just gonna one-shot this dude, just because puncture has so much damage with the Snipe support and with the duration and stuff like that. You know, it's like, let's assume you would be like bleed, like dot cap is like 35 mil, and then you release a puncture. This one single puncture would do about like 350 million damage if you get the gear and everything going. So I plan to play this character as a full evasion armor based character, so all of my item pieces do have armor and evasion, and my helm has more evasion than armor. The reason for that is all of these like new mastery systems, right? So what this node is doing with the armor evasion mastery, you do have immunity to poison if your helm has higher evasion than armor, or immune to bleed if your helm has higher armor than evasion. And I'm not too worried about bleed, I'm more worried about poison, especially since I'm not having chaos res at all. So having just a higher evasion on your helmet makes you poison immune, which I think is actually pretty absurd. Like, poison immunity is just really, really good in the game, right? Then we have easy access to a mana mastery for the mana reservation efficiency. If we go for the armor mastery as well, you do have 1% max resistance if your equipped helmet, body armor, gloves, and boots have armor. That means it doesn't mean how much armor you have on them. It just like if it's an armor base, you're gonna get this like 1 max resistance for that. And why do I still go like with an evasion armor base is because on the other side you have something with the evasion mastery to gain 15% spell suppression if equipped helmet, body armor, gloves, and boots all have evasion. So if I just go armor evasion all the way, I can like double dip in all like the evasion and armor masteries and get like a lot of stuff out there when it comes to like max resistance stacking. So I think I want to go like Grace Determination as my core line of defense. With like max resistance stacking, so I see this character being like a 40,000 evasion armor or something like that. Then I'm thinking about going Divine Flesh even and stacking Chaos Res on top of that. And you know, max resistance, armor, Grace Determination, where you're gonna put all your like damage in, which yeah, this is like the more challenging part. So I think I'm gonna be like half an hour a stacker in that regard, that I'm just gonna try to stack as much mana reservation efficiency as possible based on like this cluster, the mana reservation over here, then mana reservation on like something like a Megalomaniac, for example, with Supreme Form with Grace mana reservation or Uncompromising, then going for an Amulet with like a synthesized base, mana reservation, crafted with mana reservation efficiency. On the helmet, since we don't have to use Asylum, I want to go Essence crafted mana reservation efficiency, and on the implicit, and at some point I should be able, based on the path of building that I made, to sustain Vitality on life to gain its maximum resistance if you reserve life and mana. Defiance Banner, Herald of Purity, Determination, Grace, Flesh and Stone, as well as Malevolence. So if the math works out, I should be able to sustain or to get in all of these kind of auras, and then I think we should have quite a good amount of damage, as well as a really good layer of defense with like 40k armor, evasion, stuff like that, with Divine Flesh, capped Chaos Res. Yeah, and we're gonna see how all of that is gonna work out, and if the damage will stay the way it is right now. I just had like a very good experience when I leveled this character yesterday. Like as I said before, you load up Snipe map or like the campaign boss, you just release the arrow, it's just dead, it just disappears, which lets me think like this might be just super amazing on League Start as well, if you want to play something like that. But I really want to put in some work into this one and try to make the best bleed bow build of the entire league, for example, and see how well it keeps up, and if it will be able to do all the challenges. Then I want to throw it into whatever it's like, any kind of like uber boss. I want to do like a 30 sim on it, you know. I want to have a character that just can do everything in a good fashion, that is fast, in like both clear speed and like bossing speed, that you can just throw into any content. And if you say like, oh, I got a Cortex, you just run it, you know. Oh, I have my Maven Witnessed, or the Feared, you know, I'm just gonna pop it in and I'm just gonna do it. Oh, I have 100% daily map, I just want to do it, you know. Just this like overall character that I can just throw all content on it and still is very enjoyable to play. And yeah, I'm gonna take you onto the journey, since this will involve a lot of crafting and like trying to min-max everything, and yeah, fix the problems that it has when it comes to like regen. Like, what about bleed immunity, what about stun immunity, what about ailment avoidance, what about this, and just have like this overall good character. Yeah, that is the plan, to say the least. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.